Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Uh, I am doing my CCNA presentation over ping, which seems pretty simple, but ping is a pretty fundamental network diagnostic tool that is used literally all the time by IT and network and cybersecurity professionals. So I was going to do a little bit of a deep dive into ping and exactly what it is. So, what is ping? This seems kind of simple because everyone uh, should have an idea of what ping is. But it's a network diagnostic command that tests communication between devices. It can measure a few things such as response time and to check if the host is reachable or not. Um, Essentially, it sends a packet of small data to other devices and waits for a response. If the device replies, then connection is working. And I have a pretty simple uh, screenshot here of ping in action. Looks like we're pinging howtogeek.com. We're getting all this information back, which I will go into in the next few slides. And then it tells me how many packets were sent, how many were received, how many were lost. Basically, did we get to that other host or not? So, what does ping stand for? Um, I kind of like to think of ping kind of like a ping pong ball, which sounds kind of silly, but think about it if you're playing with another player. If you bounce the ping pong ball to them, then if there's another person on the other side, they'll bounce it back to you. Kind of like a ping command, how you're sending one command to a host out there and they're sending a response back. I also kind of like to think about it like a submarine and sonar sounds. Um, Submarines, kind of similar to bats, use something kind of like echolocation, where it sends out a ping and then based off whatever object that touches, it bounces back a sound wave, and it's pretty similar to how it works in networking. Protocol. So ping uses the ICMP protocol, also known as Internet Control Message Protocol. Uh, ICMP is part of the IP networking suite, and it's used for diagnostics and error messages. Um, Ping sends this ICMP echo request out, and then the receiving device that gets that ping replies with an ICMP echo reply. And you can see this in this picture. We have a user here sending out a request to a server, and then they send that reply back to the user. So, how does ping work? We went into this shortly, but we'll go a little deeper. Uh, you have a device, usually a client, which sends an ICMP echo request to whatever they want to test connection to. That packet travels through the network, and then the destination device receives the packet. And if it's online and has good network connectivity, it will send an echo reply, and then the sender measures the response time. They actually measure quite a bit of things. Uh, the response time is called latency, usually measured in milliseconds. So you have a client that wants to test if they have connectivity to a server, so they send out an ICMP echo request. If the network connectivity is good, clear, concrete, it's there, then the destination device will send that packet back. It's very basic of how ping works. There's a few things that it measures. The main thing is connectivity. Can you connect to that other host? Is the network line secure? Secure as in it's not cut, the twisted pairs are not crimped the wrong way, the fiber line isn't cut in half whenever OG&E is coming out and doing work. You know what I mean? It also tests for latency or the delay. And then also packet loss. Are your packets being dropped? Are you losing information on the way from the user device to the host device? And is the network reliable? Sometimes a unreliable network can cause issues, and ping is a way to test that. So here's an example of ping. I actually did this one on my own computer. I spelled my name wrong in this, but looks like we're pinging 8.8.8.8, which is a common thing that many people ping. So we could see that we got 4 replies from 8.8.8.8 made of 32 bytes. The time was 22 milliseconds, which is pretty quick, and a time to live of 252. So we sent 4 packets, we received 4 packets, and we lost 0, also known as a 0% loss. And it gives the round time of the whole trip, which is this is pretty good connection, especially seeing that we sent 4 and received 4 packets, which means that network connection over to 8.8.8.8 is pretty freaking good. Okay, now understanding ping results. So, here are some common output terms whenever you put ping into your command line. Your reply from is the response received. The time is obviously the response time. Time to live. The time to live value is pretty important. So this is the value from when one host sends a ping to another host, how much time it has to live, how many hops it has to go through, how many different routers over the network connection, and then request timed out or no response received. If the request times out, then that could mean that the destination is offline, or the network could be blocking ping requests, which I'll get into in a little bit. Ping is pretty important for a lot of reasons. It's really good for troubleshooting networking issues. This is usually the first thing that many IT techs or system administrators test whenever the network is down. Can I ping other devices within the network? And can I also ping outside of the network? And that tests a lot of different things. It just gives you a good idea about what is up and what is down, where that issue could be where that issue could be residing on the network. It's also used to test internet connectivity. So if I want to ping Google, that's what I can use to see if we can connect out to Google if our internet is working. It also measures the network speed. Yes, I may be able to get out on the network, but how fast and how slow is it really? And also verifies server availability. If the server is able to be used or not is pretty important. Now we have latency and network performance. So ping measures latency. We spoke about it a little bit earlier, but latency is the time it takes for data to travel to a destination and back. So latency could be affected by a lot of different things. One of the things is network congestion. If the network is pretty congested, then ping, your packets might have some trouble getting through the network, getting through that flow of traffic. Physical distance between devices. The longer the distance between devices, the more routers it has to go through, the more physical distance that it has to transmit over, kind of physical limitations, I guess. Router processing delays. Routers aren't instantaneous whenever transmitting ping packets. So a ping goes from a host to a router. That router has to process it. It's pretty quick, but then it has to pass it on to the next router and the next router. So it's not completely 0 milliseconds. Packet routing paths and network hardware performance. If you have a low latency, that generally means it's a fast connection. If you have a high latency, that can cause a delay. If you're a gamer, you know that if you have a high latency, your game lags like crazy, especially in an online game when you're playing with other players. If you have a high latency, you usually see a little icon in the top left, top right corner. It just makes the game unplayable. And so you usually want to have the lowest latency that you can have. Packet loss and network reliability. Packet loss occurs whenever some packets fail to reach their destination. So packet loss can be caused by network congestion, faulty hardware, router overload, or firewall filtering. That one is a really important one, which we'll get into. But yeah, if generally when you're sending data, you want all your data to get to where they're supposed to get to. So if I'm sending data to this user over here and they don't get all of it, what if it's a pretty critical, important message about about an event that's going on Veterans Day, and I really need them to get that. If we have packet loss, then they're not getting that information either at all or just not in full, which is not good. Security considerations. So Although ping is really good for network troubleshooting, you also have to think about it on the flip side. Attackers can use this. For example, ping floods or ICMP flood attacks. You have network reconnaissance by attackers or passive reconnaissance. You have an attacker out there that wants to ping something within your network to see if it's online, or if they're pinging your network and they're getting response back, then that means that ICMP or the port is open and online. So that allows attackers to map active devices on your network. So generally, to be secure, you should block ICMP requests. And then there are some other advanced networking tools related to ping, such as traceroute, MTR, path ping, and Wireshark. Traceroute shows the path that the packets take through the network. And then MTR, also known as My Traceroute, combines ping and traceroute, which is pretty cool. There's path ping, which analyzes packet loss across routers, and Wireshark, which captures and analyzes network packets. Um, a lot of these tools can help engineers diagnose network issues deeper than basic ping connectivity, which is pretty good. May require a little bit of knowledge with these protocols, but it's a step above ping in some situations. In conclusion, a lot of people overlook ping, but they don't realize how simple it makes life for us to be able to ping a connection and see if it's good. We don't have to go through every single physical cable, whether that be Cat 5, Cat 6, fiber optics. We don't have to physically inspect each one of them, physically inspect each router and switch to make sure that it all works. We could send a ping command across the whole world, see if we connect to it. Boom, done. Pretty helpful. So it's a really good network connectivity tool that every IT technician, system administrator, or security expert should keep in their back pocket. So yeah, that's my presentation over ping. So if you have any questions, just shoot me a message, and I'm happy to teach about ping. Thank you.